Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. And today we finna react to, remember 1995? So this for my 95 babies. Y'all niggas old too. Y'all old ass niggas, y'all old too. Don't sit up here act like y'all ain't old. Y'all old too, nigga. Face it, you're 30 now. You unk now too. Enjoy, embrace it. Embrace it. You unk now too. Are you 95 babies? Oh, are you 96 babies? Oh. Shout out to you 96 babies. How I feeling? How them knees feeling? How that back feeling? How that neck feeling? How them shoulders feeling, boy? Yeah. Welcome to the 30 club. Welcome to the 30 for 30 club, nigga. What your hairline looking like, boy? Let me see your hairline. Oh, shit fucked up? Yeah, I figured. Yeah, go. We already do it. We do it.
LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
Yeah, we knew it. Yeah, we knew it. We knew it.
LeBron James.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah. So for all my 95 babies, y'all finna be 31. Y'all about to be 31. For all my 96 babies, y'all about to be 30. 97 babies, y'all right around the corner. Right around the corner. The hairline receding, boy. Might be time. But for all y'all 95 babies, welcome to the 30 for 30. Or all y'all 96 babies, welcome to the 30 for 30. Please show us your hairline. Can we see your hairline, please?
LeBron
James. But anyway, so without further ado, let's get right into this shit, man. Motherfucking 95, man. Let's get it, man. Only thing I know about 95 is that this is a goated ass year for music and movies. Movies and music, this shit is goated. Everything else I don't know about. So yeah. Without further ado, let's figure out what happened in 95, man. I'm pretty sure this is the continuation of the OJ trial. I think this, I don't know.
Dance for you?
Hey, yo. This y'all doing in the 90s? This is what the mayonnaise was doing in the 90s? Hell no. Get your skinny, get your stick body, no booty having ass off the stage, bro.
What they put on your sandwich? Too much goddamn mayonnaise.
Get off the stage. Boo. Boo you. Boo this person. Boo this person. Ain't nobody trying to see that little, ain't nobody trying to see them bones. Ain't nobody trying to see that spinal cord. Get the fuck up out of here.
Boo this man! Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Get that mayonnaise off the stage, bro.
What they put on your sandwich? Too much goddamn mayonnaise.
Everybody trying to see. Whoa. Hold on there now. You got too much dip on your chip. You got too much dip on your chip.
With your show, with your book. Oh, brother. Whoa. Now, you got too much dip on your chip, huh?
You got too much dip on your chip. She got on. Look at David Letterman, bro. He is disgusted. It's like, you filthy, you dirty bitch. Get off my motherfucking table, dancing and shit, and then go flash your titties and from my. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch? I'm gonna have to get out this car and choke a bitch. I'm your conscience. Get off my goddamn table, bitch.
Y'all quit playing. Quit.
I'm just saying though.
Told you to stop beating me.
Get that mayonnaise off my goddamn table. I keep doing that. Get off the stage. Get the fuck off the stage.
From start to finish, 1995 was a very interesting year full of some of the most memorable pop culture moments we have ever witnessed. As of making this video, 1995 was 30 years ago, which is just so crazy to see how fast time flies.
31?
It feels like most of these events happened not that long ago. I was actually born this year, so it just holds a special place in my heart. I just wish I was old enough to experience it in real time, as it's my favorite year of the 90s. This was just a stacked year for pop culture, making 1995 one of the best years of the 90s.
95 was goated, bro.
I honestly feel like this year is slightly overlooked when discussing this time period as a whole, as most people usually bring up the latter half or the early years of the decade rather than the midway point for some reason when discussing the 1990s, but then again, I could be wrong since I was barely alive at the time. Throughout the year, we witnessed the continued rise of the internet, new technological advancements, groundbreaking blockbuster releases, major musical moments, exciting new television shows, shocking celebrity scandals, major sports events, and more, making this one of the most exciting, memorable, and iconic years of the 20th century. So I thought it would be a fun idea to take a look back at the year 1995 and see if this was truly the best year and the peak of the 1990s decade.
Getting bored with just plain nuts? Try Fisher Favorites Tropical Fruit and Nut Mix, a more exciting flavor combination.
I can't eat peanuts, bro. I'm not even allergic to peanuts. I just don't eat them, bro. It's like I can't. They're nasty. Peanuts are just disgusting to me. The most disgusting thing in the world. Peanuts.
Papaya, sweet cream almonds, honey roast peanuts, and whole cashews.
Crunchy nuts with juicy real fruit. Fisher Favorites Tropical Fruit and Nut Mix. Just one of the Fisher Favorites.
It's Fisher flavor, or it's just plain nuts.
From January to December, 1995 was a very eventful year full of some of the most iconic and memorable pop culture moments to ever exist. We were in the middle of the decade, and there was a
I forgot about the Source Awards. Any artists out there that want to be artists don't want nobody. The producers be all in the videos, all on the records,
fresh and exciting.
dancing.
Everyone was wearing denim, baggy clothing, plaid, crop tops, jelly sandals, and flannels, as the grunge look was all the rage. And this was just peak time to be a Gen Xer and older millennial. And you just had to be there, as 1995 was a pretty crazy time to be alive.
Pretty much an 80s baby.
Right there, but it just so happened. So, in world news, we witnessed a wide variety of events take place, including the Tokyo subway sarin attacks, the Oklahoma City bombing, which killed 168 people, Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin's assassination at a peace rally in Tel Aviv, and the end of the Bosnian War with the Dayton Accords. France conducted nuclear tests in the Pacific, causing global protests. The U.S. rescued Mexico's economy with a $20 billion aid package. The Indian government officially renames the city of Bombay, restoring the name Mumbai, and the Russian Mir space station
But can't take care of their own people in their own country. Ain't that about a bitch?
hosted American astronauts for the first time, amongst many other big things. In sports, major headlines included South Africa winning the Rugby World Cup, Miguel Indurain's 5th consecutive Tour de France, and Steffi Graf's dominant 3 Grand Slam year. The Atlanta Braves defeated the Cleveland Indians at this year's World Series. The San Francisco 49ers defeated the San Diego Chargers 49-26 at the Super Bowl, and the Houston Rockets defeated the Orlando Magic, winning their 2nd consecutive NBA championship. On March 18th, Michael Jordan made his iconic return to the NBA after a failed attempt as a baseball player, scoring 19 points in a Bulls win, kicking off a comeback that would eventually lead to another historic three-peat of championships, which later solidified.
We have to put context on Michael Jordan's baseball career. It wasn't a failed attempt, sir. It wasn't a failed attempt. What happened was Michael was actually improving and getting better. But the MLB had a strike. If the MLB never goes on strike, Michael never comes back to basketball. The MLB going on strike was a blessing in disguise for the NBA. Because if that doesn't happen, if that never happens, this never happens. Because Michael Jordan was actually getting good at baseball. Wasn't a failed attempt. It's just they went on strike. Mike didn't feel like sitting at home doing nothing. So he said, I'm going to put my sneakers back on and I'm going to lace them up and I'm going to get back on the court. Plain and simple.
His status as the biggest athlete of the 90s. Other popular athletes this year included Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Riddick Bowe, Deion Sanders, Andre Agassi, and Shaquille O'Neal, as well as many others. 1995 was a very significant year for technology and video games, as this was the year of the .com boom, with the mainstreaming of the internet via Windows 95, Netscape IPO, and early Amazon/Yahoo, while introducing foundational technology like Java, JavaScript, PHP, and the DVD format. This was also the year of the butterfly keyboard and the rise of pagers and early cell phones, bridging the gap between the analog and the digital era. Many new websites launched this year, including Amazon.com, eBay, Match.com, Craigslist.com, Classmates.com, and Internet Explorer, as well as many others. Sega released.
Damn. Hey, 95 goated. Hold on, cuz. Y'all put up Craigslist? Where the hoes be selling the coochie at? Oh, shit. Shout out to y'all niggas then. Hold on, cuz. Shout out to y'all, man, putting that up, man. So for the hoes that be selling the coochie and the bust down Cadillacs with no with a broken O2 sensor and can barely move, but that motherfucker be moving though. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the hoes that be selling it on Craigslist for $40.
The Sega Saturn, while Sony released the PlayStation gaming console as the next big thing in video games. The PlayStation was launched in Japan back in 1994 and later became available worldwide the following year in 1995. In a short amount of time, it quickly became a massive success, shifting the gaming, entertainment, and technology landscape towards 3D and CD-based media, becoming a cultural phenomenon overnight. Some of the hottest video games released this year included Dragon Quest VI, Mega Man 7, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, Full Throttle, Tekken 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Battle Arena Toshinden, Chrono Trigger, Rayman, Twisted Metal, Star Wars Dark Forces, Destruction Derby, Wipeout, and Jumping Flash, as well as many others. 1995 was a pretty solid year for the theme park industry, mostly due to the openings of many major new parks. This year saw the opening of Port Aventura in Spain, Enchanted Kingdom in the Philippines, and Six Flags Hurricane Harbor in California and Concord, as well as the opening of Disney's Blizzard Beach in Orlando, Florida. On March 4th, Indiana Jones Adventure opened at Disneyland as the most anticipated attraction of the year, where it's still in operation today, thrilling riders as a world-class attraction. This year's Super Bowl halftime show was even used as an entire ad to promote the attraction, which is just so funny looking back. This year was a pretty eventful year, full of some of the most talked about and memorable celebrity moments we have ever experienced. From crazy court cases to shocking deaths and TV appearances,
if the glove can't fit, you must have quit.
Celebrity scandals that had everybody talking the whole year. Some of the hottest couples this year included Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow, Richard Gere and Cindy Crawford, Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman, and Matthew McConaughey and Sandra Bullock, as well as many others. Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson were the most popular celebrity couple this year, where they tied the knot after knowing each other after a few short days. And this was also the year when their infamous tape got leaked, where it became one of the biggest home videos of the year, which is
I am disgusted.
Yeah, they put that out there, bro. That's didn't nobody need to see that shit.
Yeah, Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson basically invented OnlyFans before it was OnlyFans. If you know, you know. Hugh Grant and Charlie Sheen both got caught up in similar scandals that were pretty messy, to say the least. Hugh Grant was arrested for lewd conduct after being caught in the back of his car getting lollipopped by a worker in LA, while
That's crazy.
Charlie Sheen testified he spent thousands on a Hollywood escort service, which is just trifling on both ends. Princess Diana gave her bombshell interview with the BBC, in which she was very candid and
I mean, shit, you just trying to get his freak on, shit. Ain't no problem with that going, but ain't no party like a Charlie Sheen party.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no party like a Charlie Sheen party, nigga. Fuck you mean?
made very shocking revelations. She also said the infamous line, "There were 3 of us in the marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Yeah, she was basically admitting to having a threesome, which is a little nasty. Tupac Shakur served time at the Clinton Correctional Facility for some pretty crazy charges, and this was actually where he recorded his album that would be released later this year. Whitney Houston hosted.
He got charged, bro. Tupac got charged for inappropriate touching. How do you get a 4-year bid for inappropriate touching? This some bullshit. This is what I be talking about, bro. They send the niggas to jail for anything. If you a nigga, they gonna send you to jail or something. And like we sending you to jail for something. Like you gonna send me to jail for inappropriate touching, nigga? That's a fine, nigga. They sent this man to jail for inappropriate touching, not for rape, not for anything else, not for rape at SA, sexual harassment, none of that shit. This man got sent to jail for inappropriate touching. Even though it was consensual. He got sent to jail for touching booty. Essentially. He literally got sent to jail for touching booty. That was consensual. I really want y'all to think about that for a second. They sent that man to jail for touching booty. And gave him 4 years on top of that. Free Diddy, man. Free Diddy.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Free Diddy.
hosted the 8th annual Kids' Choice Awards, the Rachel was a trendy hairstyle that had many white women in a chokehold, while George Clooney popularized the Caesar haircut amongst men. Courtney Love threw a shoe at Madonna, interrupting her interview for the MTV VMAs pre-show. Michael Jackson was also at this year's VMAs, where he performed a medley of his greatest hits, and Drew Barrymore decided to flash David Letterman on The Late Show for some reason. Yeah, Drew Barrymore was wild back in the day, but that's another video for another day. But speaking of David Letterman hosted this year's Oscars for the first time, where he was pretty awkward and unfunny in front of 48 million viewers. Some people even say he's one of the worst Grammys hosts to ever exist. Forrest Gump dominated the night, winning 6 awards, including Best Directing and Best Picture. Other winners of the night included Tom Hanks, Jessica Lange, Martin Landau, Diane Weist, Quentin Tarantino, and Elton John, as well as many others. At this year's Grammys, Bruce Springsteen was the night's biggest winner with 4 awards, including Song of the Year for his smash hit Philadelphia, while opening the show. Sheryl Crow was also a big winner this year, winning Record of the Year and Best Female Pop Vocal for her song All I Wanna Do, as well as Best New Artist. Other winners of the night included Boyz II Men for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal for I'll Make Love to You, Toni Braxton for Best Female R&B.
Shout out to my black queens doing black things.
And Tony Bennett for Album of the Year for his MTV Unplugged album, as well as many others. Side note, I know they typically pick the safe choices, but nominating an MTV Unplugged project is actually pretty crazy to me, as it could have easily went to someone else, given that 1994 was just a stacked year for music. If I was on the Grammys committee that year, I would have either given it to Boyz II Men or Elton John for the Lion King soundtrack, but I digress. Toni Braxton, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey, and Janet Jackson also had major chart toppers in 94 and should have easily dominated this year's awards, but once again, the Grammys tend to get it wrong as usual, or as I like to call them, the scammies. Now enjoy these random red carpet looks from the year.
I've already ranted on the Grammys. I keep telling y'all that the Grammys, they keep moving the goalposts on their criteria. One moment they're telling you we want deep and authentic stuff. We don't want nothing that is popular, man. That's not that. We don't want this to be a popularity contest. We just want, bro. Okay, we get that. Then when the artists switch over to that and they actually succeed at doing that, then they move the goalposts again and say, we like that pop shit. We like that pop shit right there. It's like, what? I did everything you asked of me. It's bro. Like I said, this is what drove Michael Jackson crazy. This is what drove Mariah crazy. This is what drove so many people that work their ass off to put out some of the best fucking product for their fans, for the consumers. They put out some of the best fucking product, and the Grammys kept moving the goalposts, and it kept driving people insane because they didn't know what to do. This bro, fuck the Grammys, bro. People just need to stop giving the Grammys all this credit. If we eliminate the Grammys, we take control. They'll have to just do what we tell them to do. If this is the best song, if this is the best album that everybody and their mama is talking about, you need to reward that album. If it's no debate that Usher had the best album of 2004, but Alicia Keys walks away with everything, make it make sense, bruh. Make it make sense, bruh. Come on, dog.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Make it make sense, bruh.
Many millennial superstars were born this year, including Logan Paul, Playboy Cardi, Ross Lynch, Kendall Jenner, Timothée Chalamet, Natalia Dyer, Doja Cat, Melanie Martinez, Lil Uzi Vert, Jimin, Patrick Mahomes, Forrest Frank, Megan Thee Stallion, Kehlani, Post Malone, Dua Lipa, Laura Marano, Gigi Hadid, Troye Sivan, Brent Faiyaz, Matt Rife, and your favorite YouTuber, as well as many others. We also said goodbye.
So you mean to tell me all these niggas is a year younger than me? Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Uzi Vert, all these niggas is a year younger than me. Life ain't fair, bro. Life ain't fair, bro.
Told you to stop beating me.
Life ain't fair, bro.
Bye to many legends this year, including Dean
R.P.
Martin,
Easy.
Turner, Pearl Ives, Phyllis Hyman, Madge Sinclair, Mary Wicks, Eva Gabor, Mickey Mantle, Jerry Garcia, Donald Pleasance, Wolfman Jack, Elizabeth Montgomery, John Smith, Bob Ross, and so many more. On March
R.P.
26,
Bob Ross.
NWA member Eazy-E lost his life due to contracting HIV/AIDS. At the young age of 30, he lost his life months after his diagnosis, which is just so sad. And he's often referred to as the godfather of gangster rap, and is seen as a hip-hop legend despite having a short lifespan. Later that month, on March 31st, Mexican pop star Selena Quintanilla tragically lost her life.
Oh, damn.
By Yolanda Saldivar, her friend.
R.P. Selena, man. R.P. Selena, man. R.P. the Hispanic goat, man. R.P. the Hispanic goat, man. One time for the one time, man. One time for our Hispanic sister out there. One time for her.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's here today! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
RIP to Selena, bro.
And former fan club president at a Days Inn in Corpus Christi, Texas, during a confrontation over embezzled funds. Selena was just 23 years young and was on the cusp of becoming a major global superstar prior to her death. Although she had her last live performance a few days before her death, her final major concert was the iconic, record-breaking show at the Houston Astrodome earlier in the year in February. Her sudden death shocked the world, leading to massive outpourings of grief, with her legacy continuing through tributes, music, and a lasting cultural impact, with April 16th now being Selena Day in Texas, which is really cool. Possibly the most talked about celebrity and pop culture moment of the year was the O.J. Simpson trial that had America in a chokehold. Back in 1994, ex-NFL player O.J. Simpson was tried, accused, and acquitted for the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman, who were stabbed to death outside Brown's condominium in Los Angeles on July 12, 1994. And this
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Fuck you mean? Even though we know OJ did it, we know he did it, but still, if the glove don't fit, you must quit. We got to win something, God damn it, because we've been taking too many L's in that courtroom. We had to take a W somewhere, and it was OJ, surprisingly.
was later followed by the infamous slow-speed car chase on the highway in his white Ford Bronco. Fast forward to the following year, O.J. Simpson was set to go on trial due to his controversies and accusations. The trial spanned 8 months from January 24th to October 3rd, 1995. Despite having significant amounts of forensic evidence, he was acquitted of both murders on October 3rd. Although the nation observed the same evidence presented at trial, a division along racial lines emerged in observers' opinion of the verdict, which the media dubbed as the racial gap. We were also still in the wake of the Rodney King situation, so racial tension and rage were still a major concern for many Black Americans. Immediately following the trial, polling showed that most African Americans believed O.J. Simpson was innocent and that justice had been served, while most white Americans felt he was guilty, and the verdict was a racially motivated jury nullification by a mostly African American jury. The trial was watched by an estimated 150 million people, making it one of the most watched televised events ever.
We had to get somebody out them chains, even though this nigga is a sellout. Even though OJ was always a sellout, but we had to take a look back at our brother and say, we know you crazy, we know you did it. We could send your ass to jail, but we need a win somewhere. Tupac in jail, Eazy-E gone. Brother, we need a win right now.
With some sources placing the global figure even higher, many Americans paused their daily lives to watch the final verdict and to discuss it the next day during their awkward water cooler talks. Everything from the slow-speed car chase to the gloves and constant news coverage
If
just made
the
the trial
glove
feel like
don't
one big
fit,
event.
you must have quit.
So you will be seeing this audience's reactions as the verdict is being read.
Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A.
The O.J. Simpson trial.
Ain't no way. Shout out to my Black sisters out there, bruh. Shout out to my Black sisters, bruh. Black queens doing great things. Shout out to my Black sisters out there. Shout out to all my Black sisters out there, man. Jumping up and down for that man, even though he a sellout. I love it. I love it. I love when my people come together, man.
Had a major impact on American culture, later being credited for transforming public opinion about domestic from being considered a private familial matter, as well as raising awareness about the stigma that interracial couples still face from both white and African Americans. You just had to be there, as this trial was the most talked about moment of the year, where it still gets referenced today.
It's an all-new Monday in the Fresh Prince's TV's sexiest new soap star. Wait till he sees his new lover.
Hello, sleepyhead.
Then In the House, starring LL Cool J, Debbie Allen, and introducing Austin.
Got like a Michael Jackson, Urkel, Pinocchio thing going. Make it work.
In the House premieres after the Fresh Prince, NBC Monday.
1995 was a pretty significant and memorable year for the film industry. This year had a pretty stacked lineup of major blockbuster releases, making it one of the best years of the 90s decade in my opinion. Throughout the year, we saw the rise of many new franchises, highly anticipated sequels, directorial debuts, and more, making 1995 a landmark year for films. Whether you were watching action adventures, comedies, sci-fi, dramas, and animation, the year was just full of variety for everyone to enjoy. On July 19th, Paramount Pictures released Clueless, where it instantly became well received by critics and fans. Clueless is a coming-of-age teen comedy film written and directed by Amy Heckerling. The plot centers on a beautiful, popular, wealthy high school student named Cher Horowitz who wants to do good deeds for the sake of doing them. She befriends a newcomer and decides to give her a makeover while playing matchmaker for her teachers, while just learning about herself as a young woman. The director studied Beverly Hills high school students to understand how teenagers in the 1990s talked and learned some appropriate slang terms from them, making it even more relatable to how teens were dressing and talking at the time. The film stars many big names, including Alicia Silverstone, Stacey Dash, Dan Hedaya, Brittany Murphy, Donald Faison, Breckin Meyer, and Paul Rudd, as well as many others. The film was marked.
I'm not gonna lie, Stacey Dash just That's some fine shit right there, boy. She just a sellout, dog. She just a sellout. That's the only thing that's holding her back, bruh. She a sellout. I tear that ass up. I'm just saying.
Marketed mostly for the teen/young
Y'all quit
adult
playing.
demographic, while its release was heavily promoted on MTV, later becoming a sleeper hit that summer. Clueless is mostly known for its instantly recognizable and camp fashion looks that many still recreate every year for cosplay purposes and Halloween. The film has received positive reviews from critics and is considered to be one of the best teen films of all time. Clueless is one of the most beloved and quintessential films from this era and has a continuing legacy with a big fan base. The film was followed by a spin-off television sitcom and series of books, while the movie also inspired Iggy Azalea's 2014 music video for her smash hit Fancy and has served as inspiration for many other pop culture moments. Since the film's initial release, it became a cult classic and fan favorite amongst many, and I feel like this film just perfectly encapsulates the teen experience from that era.
Ew, get off of me. Ugh, as if.
On March 24th, 1995, Braveheart was released to theaters, where it became one of the most notable and standout films of the year. Braveheart is an epic historical war drama film directed and produced by Mel Gibson, where he portrays Scottish warrior Sir William Wallace in the First War of Scottish Independence against King Edward I of England. The film also stars Sophia Marquet, Patrick McGoohan, Catherine McCormick, and Angus McFadden. Upon release, the film was a critical and commercial success, receiving praise for its battle scenes, production design, musical score, and acting performances, although it did receive some criticism for its historical inaccuracies. Several parts were actually set to be filmed in the United Kingdom, but ended up being filmed in many parts of Ireland and Scotland over a 12-week period. The film was actually shot in the anamorphic format with the Panavision C and E series lens, making it stand out from any other film at the time. Gibson actually had to tone down the film's battle scenes to avoid an NC-17 rating from the Motion Picture Association, with the final version being rated R, mostly due to the film's portrayal of brutal medieval warfare. The film generated huge interest in Scotland and Scottish history, not only around the world but also in Scotland itself, and is seen as one of the best medieval films and war films ever made. After the success of the first two original live-action Batman films from 1989 and 1992, Batman Forever was released to theaters in 95, being one of the most popular films of the year. Based on the DC Comics, Batman Forever is a superhero action-adventure film that was released to theaters in the summer of 95. It was actually released the day I was born, that Friday, June 16th, which is a fun fact that nobody asked for, but I felt like including it. And I've actually never seen this Batman, but how cool is that to say that this movie was released on my birthday? But anyways, moving on. It's the third installment of the Batman film series, acting as a standalone sequel to The Batman Returns, directed by Joel Schumacher and produced by Tim Burton and Peter McGregor Scott. It stars Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne/Batman, replacing Michael Keaton, alongside Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman, and Chris O'Donnell. The film follows Batman as he attempts to prevent Two-Face and the Riddler from uncovering his secret identity and extracting information from the minds of Gotham City's residents, while at the same time navigating his feelings for psychologist Dr. Chase Meriden and adopting Dick Grayson, who later becomes his partner and best friend Robin. Director Joe Schumacher went with the creative choice of honoring the original comics and 1960s series, going for a more comical, colorful, lighthearted, and campy approach over the darker gothic tone Tim Burton included in his first two Batman films. Due to this change, the film was released to mixed reviews from critics who praised the visuals, action sequences, and soundtrack, but criticized the screenplay and tonal departure from the previous two films. Despite mixed criticism, the film was a box office success, grossing over $336 million worldwide and becoming the sixth highest grossing film of the year. It was followed by Batman and Robin in 1997, with Schumacher returning as the director, O'Donnell returning as Robin, and George Clooney replacing Kilmer as Batman this time around. Batman Forever was the movie of the summer and is usually ranked in the middle when fans discuss the Batman franchise as a whole. On June 23rd, 1995, Walt Disney Animation Studio released their 33rd animated feature, Pocahontas, to mixed reviews. Pocahontas is an animated musical historical drama film loosely based on the life of Powhatan woman Pocahontas and the arrival of English settlers from the Virginia Company. Being released during the Disney Renaissance of the 1990s, it became the first Disney film to be loosely based on a real-life historical figure. The film romanticizes Pocahontas' encounter with John Smith and the saving of his life, which is,
Is this who we are? Is this what we represent?
The movie was released and coming off the heels of the success of The Lion King, so it had a lot of expectations to fill. Disney actually anticipated that this film would be bigger and better than The Lion King, as they pulled out all of the stops with this one. With a bigger budget, stunning animation, intense action sequences, and a more mature story, Disney was really trying to make an Oscar-baity film, if you know what I mean. And as you know, The Lion King would go on to become the biggest Disney film at the time, leaving Pocahontas to become overlooked and somewhat of a blunder for Disney, even though it did pretty well at the box office that year. The film was released to mixed reactions from critics and audiences who praised its animation, voice performance, and music, but criticized its story with its lack of focus on tone. The film's historical inaccuracy and artistic license received polarized responses, with some even calling it offensive, pandering, and tone deaf for, obvious reasons. And this is definitely a movie that wouldn't have seen the light of day in today's modern climate, and will most likely be the only Disney film to not get the live action treatment. Despite the negative criticism, Pocahontas earned over $346 million at the box office, making it the fifth highest grossing film of the year and one of the most highly anticipated releases of the year. The film later received 2 Academy Awards for Best Musical Score or Comedy Score for Alan Menken, and Best Original Song for Colors of the Wind, which, speaking of, Colors of the Wind has become a fan favorite amongst many Disney and musical fans, and is regarded as one of the best Disney songs of all time. I mean, that song is like a whole testimony. Pocahontas also influenced many future strong-willed Disney heroines like Mulan, Tiana, Elsa, and Raya, as well as many others. Without a doubt, the most popular film that had everyone in a chokehold and had the biggest cultural impact of 1995 was none other than Toy Story. Toy Story is an animated adventure comedy film produced by Pixar.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What we gotta talk about here, man? Toy Story. The motherfucking GOAT, man. Burnt the VHS out. Burnt the VHS out. The tape popped out. The VCR almost caught on fire. Started smoking and shit. I was like, hey, yo. The screen started going up. I was like, hey, what's going on with my tape? I was like, hey, what's going on with my tape? And then the VCR started smoking. I said, Mama, the VCR on fire. I never forget that day, bro. Fucking VCR caught on fire. Cause I played the shit out of fucking Toy Story, bro. From the moment I got it on VHS for Christmas to fucking when it fucking was out. It was done, bro. And that VHS was done too, but by that point it didn't matter. VHSs was like obsolete by that point. It was like 2004 by the time that happened. It was like 2004, bro. Fucking VHS caught on fire, bro.
Animation studios for Walt Disney Pictures.
VHSs didn't cost nothing. Them shits was like $15, bro. Got that shit replaced the very same day.
It's the first installment in the Toy Story franchise and the first entirely computer animated feature film, as well as the first feature film for Pixar. Toy Story takes place in a world where toys come to life when humans are not present, which was such a fun and creative concept for a film at the time. It follows an old-fashioned polstering cowboy doll named Woody and a modern Space Day Cadet action figure Buzz Lightyear, as Woody develops jealousy towards Buzz when he becomes their owner Andy's favorite toy.
You are a
Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, who were two of the world's biggest stars at the time, voiced Woody and Buzz Lightyear, and these two were perfectly casted to play these characters. The film also included other big names in Hollywood, including Annie Potts, John Ratzenberg, Don Rickles, Wallace Shawn, and Jim Varney. Toy Story was released in theaters during Thanksgiving week on November 22nd, where it quickly became the go-to movie to see at the time. It was the highest grossing film during its opening weekend, eventually grossing over $363 million worldwide, making it the second highest grossing film of the year. The film received critical acclaim with praise directed towards the technical innovation of the animation, script, Randy Newman's score, appeal to all age groups, and voice performances, particularly Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. As of now, it currently holds a 100% approval rating on the popular film ranking website Rotten Tomatoes, making it one of the few films with a 100% score. The film is frequently regarded as one of the best animated films ever made, and due to its status as the first computer animated film, one of the most important films in the medium's history and film at large. Being the first of its kind, audiences were blown away by the use of 3D graphics and attention to detail in animation, as it was something that hadn't been done before to this scale for a feature-length film. Toy Story was Pixar's first feature-length film as a fairly new studio, where they would go on to have several other successful animated films down the line, and this film pretty much set the tone for the future of animation and film, and is the main reason why 3D animated films would continue to dominate the entertainment landscape 30 plus years later. Since the film's release, Toy Story has gone on to produce multiple sequels, spin-offs, numerous short films, video games, books, toys, theme park attractions, and a ton of merchandise. A whole 10 years later, in 2005, Toy Story was selected by the United States Library of Congress to be preserved by the National Film Registry for being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, with the "To Infinity and Beyond" phrase being one of the most quoted and iconic movie lines ever.
To infinity and beyond!
As of now, the Toy Story franchise has made billions of dollars globally and is seen as one of the most influential, beloved, and iconic films of all time. Other notable films released this year included Die Hard with a Vengeance, Apollo 13, The Goofy Movie, GoldenEye, Seven, Casino, While You Were Sleeping, Bad Boys, Sense and Sensibility, The American President, The Usual Suspects, Waterworld, Balto, Jumanji, Billy Madison, Waiting to Exhale, Empire Records, and the hood classic Friday, as well as many others.
Oh, cool.
Damn! Put your glasses back up. Most definitely, man. Come on, man. The motherfucking GOAT right here, dog. 1995 has some bangers, but nothing came close to this. Nothing came close to this. This is by far black excellence right here. This is black hood film excellence right here. This is royalty. This is the most important black film in black film history, bruh. The most important film, without question. Without question, this is the most important film of all time.
Fax it. Anytime, anywhere.
John, hello, mate. Just got your fax. But you really should get out of the office a bit more.
1995 was a pretty interesting year for television. Not the biggest or
Shout out
most
to the
memorable year
Wayne
of the
Bros.
decade, but still pretty decent and eventful.
We're
At this time, many
brothers,
shows that
we're
premiered
happy,
earlier in
and
the
we're
90s
singing,
even
and
the
we're
80s were still
coloring.
going strong, while other shows that debuted later in the decade
Give
didn't
me a
exist yet, leaving
high
1995
five.
to be kind of a drought for new series. Everyone was watching shows like ER, Seinfeld, and Friends, as well as whatever was playing on MTV at the time. This was also the year we said goodbye to classics like Blossom, Empty Nest, and Full House, as well as many others. On
Damn.
January 11th, 1995,
Yes,
the Wayans
sir.
Bros. On January 11th, 1995, the Wayans Bros. premiered
Yeah,
on UPN
yeah,
as the
get it
newest
right.
sitcom. The series starred
Get it right, the Wayans, bro. Stop it.
real-life brothers Sean and Marlon Wayans, comedian John Witherspoon, and Anna Maria Horsford. The show was about two brothers, Sean and Marlon, who live in an apartment in Harlem, dealing with everyday life such as work, relationships, family, and more. A pretty basic and self-explanatory buddy comedy, but still a fun time. Sean, a womanizing, stylish, and responsible young bachelor, and Marlon's older brother, is the owner of his own local newsstand, while Marlon is the dim-witted, immature, sex-crazed, unsanitary, and lazy younger brother who also works at the newsstand. Marlon usually serves as the comic foil to big brother Sean, often at times getting himself or both into sticky situations. You know, the typical sitcom hijinks. It's your typical opposites attract buddy comedy duo dynamic that we have seen so many times. The Wayans Bros lasted for 5 seasons, ending in 1999, solidifying itself as one of the most notable black sitcoms during the 1990s.
You ain't scared nobody. What you want to do? Come on, what you want, baby? You a joke. I ain't scared of you, man. I'm grown now. I'm grown. I ain't scared. What you want to do? What's up? Back it up, son.
Another notable sitcom that first aired this year was The Drew Carey Show. The Drew Carey Show is a sitcom that aired on ABC from September 3rd.
I ain't gonna lie, the Drew Carey show is underrated. Hey, tell me why this whole time I thought this was Drew Carey in a wig. I swear to, I never knew this was a real woman, bro. I didn't know this was a real woman, bro. I thought that was Drew Carey in a wig, bro. I'm sorry. I thought that was Drew Carey in a wig the whole time, bro. Hey, man. Shout out to Drew Carey, though. That show you fire, bro. Because this used to come on before Friday, not Friday Night Smack, but, you know, SmackDown. Before SmackDown would come on UPN, they would play reruns of this show. They would always play this. So they play The Simpsons first, then they play The Drew Carey Show. Then UPN would go into their lineup, whether you was finna watch One-on-One, Girlfriends, motherfucking Half and Half. What's the other ones? What's the Parkers, Moesha, or you finna watch you some SmackDown or a movie. You had to watch this show, man. And I ain't gonna lie, this was a good ass show. Shout out to Drew Carey, bro. This was a good ass show, bro. Very good ass show.
1995 to September 8th, 2004. Set in Cleveland, Ohio, the series revolved around the real office and home life of everyman Drew Carey, which was a fictionalized version of himself. And this was during the era when almost every major male comedian had their own sitcom, which was just so indicative of the times. Drew Carey has said that his character in the show is what he would actually have been if he had not become an actor. The show featured a well-rounded cast of characters and had several guest appearances over the years. Fans and critics enjoyed the comedy, writing style, and memorable characters, making it one of the standout shows of the year. People often credit it as a show that's ahead of its time, thanks to its witty dialogue, comedy, and fourth wall breaks. Even though the Drew Carey Show was pretty successful during its heyday, it often gets overlooked or forgotten whenever discussing shows from the 90s. Xena Warrior Princess is a sword and sorcery television series filmed in New Zealand.
Hey, this was a little cool ass show too. It wasn't the best, but it was a little cool ass show.
From September 4th, 1995 to June 18th, 2001. The show is actually a spin-off of Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, where Xena was a recurring character for a few episodes in season 1. Aware of the character's sudden popularity amongst the public, the producers of the series decided to launch a spin-off series based on her adventures. Xena became a successful show, airing in more than 108 countries around the world since 1998. The show did better than Hercules in ratings and in popularity, and by its second season, it became the top-rated syndicated drama series on American television. For all 6 years, Xena remained in the top 5 until its final season in 2000. The series follows Xena, played by Lucy Lawless, who is an infamous warrior looking to be redeemed for her past sins against the innocent by using her fighting skills to aid those who are defenseless. And that was such a wild premise for a show, but this was the 90s. The show was ahead of its time and was one of the most bizarre, polarizing, and exciting TV series at the time of its release. It successfully mixed action, comedy, mythology, and modern social commentary, often using campy humor, making it stand out from the others. Critics have praised the series for its strong female protagonist, and it has acquired a strong cult following, attention in fandom, parody, and academia, and has influenced the direction of other television series. Xena's success has led to hundreds of tie-in products, including comic books, video games, as well as annual conventions. Other popular TV series that premiered this year included Star Trek Voyager, Pinky and the Brain, Hercules The Legendary Journeys, Mr. Show with Bob and David, Jag, The Parenthood, The Puzzle Place, The Outer Limits, Timon and Pumbaa, Little Bear, Sliders, Ned and Stacy, Goosebumps, Mad TV, Brotherly Love, Wishbone, and Freakazoid, as well as many others.
Damn, they had some heat. 95 had some heat. 95, 10 times better than my year. Let's shout out to my 94 babies. We still goated. Okay, everybody else.
1995 was a really eventful and exciting year for music. From start to finish, there were so many groundbreaking releases from some of the decade's most notable artists, with many being in.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, the R&B section of 95 is goated, bro. 95 R&B is goated, bro. I don't care what anybody says. If we talking about music in 95, R&B got it, bro. That shit was just hit on top of hits on top of hits. Hits on top of hits, bro. Without question.
The peaks of their career. This year was marked by a wide variety of genres that had a major impact on the music landscape as a whole, and many people even consider this to be one of the best years of the 90s and pop music in general. Throughout the year, we saw the rise of Britpop, the continued dominance of hip-hop, dance, alternative, country, R&B, pop crossover, soundtracks, folk, and the peak of grunge, as there was just so much variety for everyone. You just had to be there, as 1995 had a great mix of genres and artists, making for an incredible year. Compton native Coolio had a pretty eventful 1995, as he was one of the hottest artists of the year. Earlier in the year, he released his hit single Gangsta's Paradise to great success. The song famously interpolates Stevie Wonder's song Pastime Paradise.
Gangsta's Paradise.
Hit. Gangsta's Paradise features vocals from American singer LV, where he served
I
as a
thought that was
co-composer and
Coolio.
lyricist. The song was massive upon release, going to #1 in several countries, where it stayed #1 in the US for a total of 3 weeks. Later that year, Gangsta's Paradise became certified platinum in October and was included on Coolio's second album of the same name in November. The song was so massive that it also ranked as the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 year-end list for 1995. And this was a big deal at the time because it was the first hip-hop song ever to become the #1 song for any year-end list. Other hip-hop songs that were Billboard Song of the Year were In Da Club from 50 Cent in 2003, Yeah from Usher and Friends in 2004, Low from Flo Rida and T-Pain in 2008, and God's Plan from Drake in 2018. As of now, Gangsta's Paradise has sold over 5 million copies in the United States, United Kingdom, and Germany, and is seen as one of the biggest rap songs of all time, as well as being a quintessential 90s anthem. The King of Pop himself made his grand return in 1995 with the release of his 9th studio album, History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, often referred to simply as the History album. This was a double-sided album, with the first half being a compilation of all his greatest hits up until that point, and the second side including new music. Its genres span pop, R&B, and hip-hop with elements of hard rock and funk rock. Lyrical themes include environmental awareness, isolation, greed, and injustice. Several of the songs on History are responses to the child abuse allegations made against him in 1993, as well as his perceived mistreatment by the media at the time. The album featured many hits that dominated Top 40 radio and MTV that year. Scream was the lead single, which was a duet between him and his little sister Janet Jackson. The song peaked at #5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and is credited as the most expensive music video of all time. You Were Not Alone was another major hit from this album. This song was very different from Michael, as the song was more quiet, reserved, laid back, and he got to show off his vocal range. It's your typical 90s ballad written by He Who Shall Not Be Named, and was one of the biggest hits of the year. You Were Not Alone actually became the first song in history.
We know. He who shall not be named. We know. Brother, we know.
When you say teenage, how are we talking? Girls who are teenagers.
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
To debut at #1 on the Hot 100 and was Michael's final US #1 single. History received generally favorable reviews by critics, though it was viewed as a regression from Michael's previous releases. As of now, it has sold over 20 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time, and was certified 8 times platinum by the RIAA in 2018. Other popular albums that were released this year were Tupac's Me Against the World,
Yes,
Oasis,
sir.
What's the Story, Morning Glory, the Foo Fighters' debut album, Mobb Deep's The Infamous, Selena's Dreaming of You, Bone Thugs and Harmony, established 1999,
wake
Eternal,
up,
Bjork's
wake up,
Toast,
it's the
Radiohead's The
cinema.
Bends, The Roots, Do You Want More, No
Get
Doubt's
the Roots
Tragic
up outta
Kingdom, D'Angelo's Brown Sugar,
Shout out to D'Angelo,
The
RP.
Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, John B's Bonafide, The Way
Shout
to
out to
Exhale
John
soundtrack,
B.
Monica's Miss Thing, and
Shout out
Alanis
to
Morissette's
Monica.
iconic Jagged Little Pill, as well as many others. And we'll talk about Alanis in a 1996 video, as that album would go on to dominate that year, so stay tuned for that. By the mid-90s, Mariah Carey became the most popular female artist of the decade, and on September 26, 1995, she released her highly anticipated 5th studio album, Daydream, to great success. With Daydream, Mariah took more control over the musical direction as well as the album's composition. She considered the album to be the beginning of her musical and vocal transition, as she would lean more into an urban sound rather than the traditional adult contemporary sound she was known for. She had to change her sound if she wanted to stay relevant a little bit, because in the 90s there was just so much competition with so many other artists, and music was just constantly changing, so she had to constantly change. The album received critical acclaim, with critics praising the album's production, its sonic quality, and Mariah's musical progression. This is actually my favorite Mariah Carey album, and I think it's her best. It became her best reviewed album up until that point, garnering 6 nominations at the 38th Grammy Awards, but we'll save that for another video. The album's lead single, Fantasy, became the first single by a female artist to debut at #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and went on to top the chart for 8 weeks, where it later became the second best-selling single of 1995 in the country. Fantasy instantly became a fan favorite upon release and is praised as one of her best songs, as well as one of the defining songs of the 90s. The remix for the song features rap verses from Old Dirty Bastard, something Mariah arranged to assist in her crossover into the hip-hop market. The Fantasy remix is primarily the reason for the trend of pop stars and hip-hop artists collaborating, seeing massive success on the charts, and we really have Mariah to thank for that. Daydream became a global success, topping the charts in over 10 countries and reaching the top 5 in almost every major music market. It was her second album to be certified diamond by the RIAA, solidifying her status as one of the biggest artists of the entire decade and of all time. Daydream has sold over 20 million copies worldwide and is one of the best-selling albums of all time and would continue to break records the following year. Possibly the biggest artist of 1995 was none other than the legendary girl group TLC. During the early 90s, TLC made their debut as the next big thing in music. With their eccentric, campy fashion choices, tomboy aesthetic, natural charisma, and larger-than-life personalities, TLC stood out from anyone that was out at the time. The ladies were just able to be relatable while blending a mix of hip-hop, dance, and R&B soul in a fun, unique way that was missing from mainstream music at the time. After the success of their first album, the girls were ready for their next project. Leading up to their next album, they faced many challenges, including T-Baw's health complications with sickle cell, Chili losing her baby, and Lisa's rocky relationship with NFL star Andre Rising, as well as many other things. Lucky for the ladies, all of the attention helped with the promotion and hype surrounding their upcoming album. Fast forward to November 15th, 1994, TLC released their highly anticipated sophomore album, Crazy Sexy Cool, to great success. Crazy Sexy Cool saw the group reunite with producers Dallas Austin, Babyface, and Jermaine Dupri, as well as some new collaborators, Organized Noise, and Chucky Thompson. Oh, and the Diddler also made an appearance on the album here and there as a producer, but that's besides the point.
It just don't stop, do it. It just don't stop, do it. It just don't stop, do it.
Cause P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Primarily an R&B hip-hop soul record, Crazy Sexy Cool features elements of funk, deep grooves, new jack swing, jazzy instrumentals, propulsive rhythms, and smooth production. The album's lyrical content was seen as a departure from the group's debut and is seen as more of a coming-of-age project which explored themes such as sexuality, romanticism, inexperience, and youthful optimism. Fast forward to the year 1995, the ladies were everywhere and dominated every market from major award show appearances, televised performances, interviews, top 40 radio, MTV, and more, making them the biggest artists of the year. They even made a guest appearance on the sitcom Living Single this year. You just had to be there as they were just everywhere. As far as the hits go, every song from the album was a big deal, as all 4 singles reached the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, with 2 of them reaching the #1 spot. The innocent and cute Diggin' on You, which peaked at number 5, the sensual and seductive Red Light Special, which peaked at number 2, the in-your-face cheat-back anthem Creep, which became the group's first #1 hit, and the inspirational cautionary tale Waterfalls as the group's biggest hit, which, speaking of, Waterfalls instantly became TLC's most recognizable and signature song upon release. The song addresses the illegal trade, promiscuity, and HIV/AIDS, as those were topics most artists weren't discussing at the time. Waterfalls was an international hit, topping the charts in many countries. The song spent 7 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving the group their second US #1, where it later became the song of the summer. It was also the #2 song on the year-end charts, right behind Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. Waterfalls also peaked at #1 in New Zealand, Switzerland, and Zimbabwe, while reaching the top 10 in several other countries, including Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. The song received critical acclaim for its melody and lyrics, earning 2 Grammy nominations the following year for Record of the Year and Best Pop Performance by a duo or group with vocal. The song's music video reflected its socially conscious lyrics via $1 million budget and became an MTV staple, as it was in heavy rotation that whole year. At the 1995 MTV Video Music Awards, TLC performed a medley of the songs from the album and later won 4 awards for the video to Waterfalls, including Video of the Year and Viewer's Choice Award. Crazy Sexy Cool is widely regarded as one of the most influential and quintessential albums from the 90s, as people still stream it, listen to it, and talk about it today. It has gone on to influence many future girl groups who have followed in TLC's footsteps, with everyone from the Spice Girls to Destiny's Child to Fifth Harmony and Blackpink and so many others. The album has been certified 12 times platinum by the RIAA, making TLC the first girl group in history to be awarded diamond status, which is just iconic. Crazy Sexy Cool has sold over 23 million copies worldwide, becoming the best-selling album by an American girl group. It's also the album that turned T-Baw's, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and Chili into the biggest global superstars. Other major hits from 1995 included Water Runs Dry from Boyz II Men, Take a Bow from Madonna, Bombastic from Shaggy, Kiss from a Rose from Seal, Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman from Bryan Adams, Another Night from Real McCoy, Always from Bon Jovi, Strong Enough from Sheryl Crow, Don't Take It Personal, Just One of Them Days from Monica, Only Wanna Be With You from Hootie and the Blowfish, One More Chance from Notorious B.I.G., When I Come Around from Green Day, Candy Rain from Soul For Real, and This Is How We Do It from Montel Jordan, as well as many others.
Gotta get your groove on.
1995 was a pretty exciting and eventful year from start to finish, with so many major pop culture moments that we still talk about today. Other major things that happened this year included Starbucks introducing Frappuccinos, Sky Dancers, Hogs, the controversial Calvin Klein ad, Christopher Reeve getting paralyzed from a horse accident, the George Foreman Lean Mean Grilling Machine being released, Brad Pitt being named People's Sexiest Man Alive, Amazon selling its first book, the introduction to Babe the Pig, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opening in Ohio, the introduction of the Blue M&Ms, and Dolly the first clone sheep being born, as well as many other things. So yeah, like I said earlier, 1995 was a pretty crazy year from start to finish, with some major pop culture moments that we still talk about today. day. And I honestly feel like 1995 might be the best year of the 90s. Not because I was born, but you know, it just had so much going on, you know? So I want to know from y'all.
It was a dope ass year. I can't hate on it. I can't hate as a 94 baby. I can't hate on
What'd
it.
you think of 1995? What was your favorite moment of the year? Did you watch the O.J. Simpson trial on television? Did you watch Toy Story or
Toy Story?
Or Clueless, Pocahontas, Friday in theaters? Were you listening to Michael Jackson or Madonna or Boyz II Men? Were you listening to Mariah Carey, TLC? Did you watch the Wayans Bros show or the Jim Carrey show? Were you a fan of Xena Warrior Princess? What was your favorite video game of 1995? Did you watch the Super Bowl this year? And what did you think of 1995 as a whole? Let me know down below.
Alrighty, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one, man. 95, man. Hey, man, we gotta give it up for 95, bro. This was a year, bro. 95 was a year, man. We gotta give it up to him, man. 95 was a year, man. Gotta give it up to him, bro. That's a great year, man. It's 10 times better than my year, 94. 94 was cool, but 95 was lit, boy. Y'all had it. But still, though, 94 gang in the building. Shout out to my 94 babies. We still in this thing. We still thriving and surviving. You know what I'm saying? We the ones out the entire 90s, if we being honest. Us 94 babies, even though we might not have the most latest year, we still came out as them one. Okay, like let's be for real. We came out as them ones. Okay, you know what? In conjunction with the 95 babies, and the 93 babies, I say all of us came out as them ones. And then I think it's a big disconnect between the 96 and downwards. I think it's a big disconnect because we ain't worried about them niggas. We ain't worried about them little niggas. Anybody worry about them little niggas? Anybody worry about them little niggas, man? We over here thugging. We rolling on thugs. Quit don't flop. Nah, but anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. Most definitely, man. 95 was a year. I will see you on the next one. Shout out to my 95 babies out there. Y'all doing your thing. Y'all still in this thing. Y'all still alive. Y'all still alive. Y'all still alive, man. Y'all still breathing. Y'all still thriving, surviving, getting this money, getting this paper, doing what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Living your life lavishly. You know what I'm saying? So can't really complain there. You know what I'm saying? As long as we out here breathing and thriving and surviving, that's all that matters, man. Ain't no hate over here. Ain't no haterade in my system. Even though I still feel like 94 babies is the best ones of the 90s, but still, that's just me. That's just me biased. That's just me. But anyways, I'll see y'all the next one. Till then, deuces.